Yo, let's talk about Supacolor's new DTF transfers. What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brandoh, and today we're going to be talking about Supacolor's new SupaDTF transfers, their answer to the DTF boom. Now, as most of you guys already know, I use Supacolor transfers, but I use the Supacolor Wearable transfers. The reason being is because I believe in screen printed transfers. Always have, always will. In the transfer space, to me, screen printed transfers are superior. And the reason I think so is just durability and quality is number one to me. So does that mean digitally printed transfers or DTF transfers are bad? No, it's just a personal preference of mine. Now you're also probably thinking, hey, Supacolor came out with their DTF transfers a long time ago. Why are you barely making a video about it? For myself, I need to test out a product before I actually put it on my channel. Most of you guys don't know this, but I test out a lot of transfer companies. I get sample packs from a lot of transfer companies, and I'm pressing and testing stuff out all the time. One, it's always good to know what's out there. Two, it's always good to have options. But like any other company, I had to test these things out for myself before I made a video for you guys. Even when Supacolor first came out, before I introduced it to my channel, it took me months of testing just to make sure that it had a place in my business. Same exact thing goes for DTF. I've tried a ton of different DTF companies out there. I've made videos about some of the companies, and I made videos about my experience with DTF since DTF actually boomed. So before I could give an honest review, I had to test it out. Now, if you're new here and you don't know what DTF is and you've been living under a rock, DTF is a digitally printed transfer. Stands for direct to film because it's printed on film. See this? This is film, see-through. Now there's different companies that sell different sheet sizes. There's different companies that sell different gang roll sizes. That's one of the big pluses to using DTF transfers is you could get these extremely large rolls of transfers and you could sit there and cut them out. Most of you guys know this, I'm a cheapskate and I live off of gang sheets and gang rolls. That was something that I've spent a lot of time trying to convince Supacolor to offer gang sheets until they finally did. So you know that I'm a big advocate for gang sheets and gang rolls. So the DTF space, being able to buy gang rolls by like 22 inches by like, I don't know, 10 feet or whatever it is, that's cool. I'm all for it. So earlier this year, I found out that Supacolor was gonna start offering their own DTF transfers and offer gang rolls and stuff like that. And I said, cool, man, I wanna check it out. So I started my testing. There's people in my comments saying, what do you think about SupaDTF? Or what do you think about this? Do you use SupaDTF? And the whole time I've been testing it out, and I can't give an honest opinion on something if I didn't test it out, if I didn't use it for my own day-to-day, because at that point then I'd be a fraud if I was just telling, yeah, you should buy this or you should use this. I only like to use and talk about the stuff that I actually use for my business. That's how my channel's built, is I'm only sharing what works for my business, because remember, I actually sell t-shirts here. So when it comes to equipment, transfers, blank t-shirts, whatever it is, I'm only sharing what works for me. So hopefully you could test it out and see if it works for you. Not everything is gonna work for you like it works for me, and it works that way vice versa. There's something that you use that probably wouldn't work for me. Does it mean it's bad? No, it just means it doesn't work for me. So I'm here to let you know what I think about this right here. Supacolor's DTF transfers, or the SupaDTF transfers that they offer now. First off, I got a roll. And as you can see, you've seen this design before. This city don't love you. Now, one of the biggest reasons I ordered this gang roll right here is because I wanted to compare it to what I was already used to, meaning the Supacolor Wearable transfers. That's what I use when you come to my store, you're buying t-shirts with Supacolor Wearable pressed on it. You've seen my previous videos when I compared Supacolor to screen printing and stuff like that. I like to go based on the same exact design for both, so then that way I can compare. So I know on the Supacolor Wearable transfers, I could get 50 plus washes off of that thing with no issues. What I learned with the SupaDTF is I got 40 plus washes, no issues. And I will say, after that many washes, the shirt becomes faded and it's kind of just not really wearable no more. Like, I don't like my t-shirts to look all faded. Maybe that might be a look for you, but for me, usually that turns into like a gym t-shirt or something like that, where I'm not really wearing it to show it off no more. At that point, it's just kind of old and tired. But the way I do my wash test is anytime somebody in my house is doing laundry, I'm throwing that t-shirt in with it, machine wash, machine dry, and then that t-shirt just sits on top of the washing machine until the next person does laundry. So it's going in every single time just so I could get the reps in and see how many washes it'll go through. This video right here isn't about wash test results. This video right here is going to be a comparison between Supacolor Wearable and SupaDTF. So I have both of them here. This one right here is branded with my logo. This came from inside my store. This is what's actually here hanging up in my store now. This is a t-shirt that I just printed right now, and this is on a Shaka Active t-shirt with SupaDTF. So we're gonna turn the camera down and actually show you side by side on print quality, print clarity, and then also go through the pressing instructions and stuff and what I use to actually apply this to the t-shirt. First off, let's check this out right here. Here's the gang roll that it was cut off of. I forgot the size of this one. I don't remember if it was 6 feet, 8 feet, something like that. Just ganged up a bunch of them, as you can see. Left chest prints. These are the big back prints. That's basically what it was. So now that you've seen that, let's get into actually slicing down the transfer. So I'm gonna show you this clip right here. This is me cutting the transfer down off of the gang roll and then getting ready to start pressing that thing up. So the pressing instructions are exactly the same as the wearable transfers. It's 320 degrees, 15 seconds. Well, that's what I press it at. I press it at 320 degrees, 15 seconds, heavy pressure, and then it's a hot peel. Like I said, majority of the DTF transfers that are out there now are cold peel. For me, hot peel makes a big difference because after I get done pressing that shirt, I don't want to have to let it cool off and then go back and peel it up. I just want to be able to peel that thing right there, throw the shirt down, and get to my next one already. So once again, 320 degrees, 15 seconds, heavy pressure, hot peel. And hopefully it shows in this clip right here, but outside of that, let's look at what it looks like after the shirt's been pressed. So here it is right here. This city don't love you. This is just printed. This is the Shaka Active t-shirt, extra large, that I just printed up. And here is the actual print. I hope you can see this. So you have Watts Towers in the back. You have 63 Impala right here. You have Randy's Donuts. You have Dodger Stadium here. We have the downtown LA skyline, Staples Center. We have a Softail Harley right here and the Venice sign. All of these things have something to do with Los Angeles. The reason I wanted to use this t-shirt as the example is because there is photorealism within the text here, and I wanted to show what that print clarity and quality looks like because this is a digital printed transfer. Here's the front of the shirt. You guys already know this logo. You guys seen it all the time, but it is my LA with the Chucks. There's the Chucks. There's very, very small, hopefully I could focus in on that. The laces in there are very tiny, but that's in there. Pretty good. Stretchability, really good on this. No issues. No issues. Everything looks good and it's laying down nice and perfect. Let's show the back again. Once again, this is Supacolor SupaDTF. Stretch test. Hopefully that shows up on camera. I couldn't even see if that was in frame or not. No issues, everything looks good. There's no glue ghosting. I don't know if you guys experienced this, but a lot of times there's a little glue line around the text and around your design when you get transfers made. This one has no glue adhesive around the edges. Everything looks nice and clean. Try to get up on there for you. Hopefully this is in focus. But this is Supacolor's DTF transfer. Here's one that came right out of my store. Big Brandoh logo on there. There you go, we'll do it like this. Top one here, this is Supacolor's Wearable transfer. Bottom one here is gonna be Supacolor's DTF transfer. The print clarity, damn, they're the same. Damn, they're the same. The difference between the two transfers is Supacolor Wearable, screen printed, This one, the SupaDTF, is 100% digital. Print clarity, pretty much the same. Venice Beach, Staples Center, LA Skyline, Dodger Stadium, Randy's Donuts, Watts Towers. You could really see the clarity in here. That's a Dayton. And then here are some spoked rims on this Softail. So you could really see the clarity when it comes into that. But everything else looks dead on. Looks good. Feels good. Both of them feel really good. The DTF transfer, I would say, feels a little bit thinner though. The DTF transfer feels thinner than the wearable transfer, and that could be because of the screen printed ink that's on there, but the DTF one feels thinner. Lays down good, and it's opaque too. So once again, this is DTF, Supacolors DTF. This one right here is Supacolor Wearable. All right, so there you have it. That's how I press the shirt. That's the results of the actual shirt done when it's actually been pressed. And that's the comparison to Supacolor Wearable transfer. Now, a lot of people might want to know, when would you choose DTF over Supacolor Wearable, or how I choose the difference? For me, having access to SupaDTF now is going to make it easier for me to test out a lot of designs, especially the multicolored designs. Most of you guys already know this, but that's the whole reason why I have a vinyl cutter back here. It's because when I create a design, I cut one out on vinyl so I could put it on a t-shirt and test it out, meaning go out into the public and wear the t-shirt and see people's reactions to the actual design before I get transfers ordered. So now having the ability to order DTF transfers, multicolor, and be able to test out designs and not have to spend a ton of money on transfers is a plus for me. So I'm really going to be using DTF for testing out multicolor designs. I'm no longer going to have to use DTG for that. I can actually just order DTF transfers from Supacolor and test out designs before I order bulk transfers in the hundreds. When I order transfers, I order in the hundreds, 200s. So before I invest my money into those transfers, I want to make sure that I could sell these designs and make sure these designs are worth selling. So I'll test them out with DTF first. If people like it, then the retail stuff that people buy is going to be basically Supacolor Wearable transfers. Now, some of you guys are going to say, well, is it because the quality is worse or whatever it is? No, that's not it. Ordering a gang roll like this is cool, but sitting here cutting out this long sheet takes forever. When I order gang sheets from Supacolor, you can order it where it's not a gang sheet and they pre-cut everything for you, which makes your life easier. But if you do order gang sheets, if it's in a smaller sheet, I have a paper cutter and I could just go through and chop all my stuff down myself. Makes my life easier. So it comes down to production. If you don't mind cutting out a big old gang roll like this, by all means, cut that thing out, order them up. Do I think this is good for retail? I think it's good for retail. It just comes down to production. What makes sense to you? But if I was doing low quantity runs for a client, SupaDTF is where it's at for me. But mainly what I'm going to use it for is testing out a lot of multicolored designs. I could gang up a bunch of different multicolored designs that I want to run and test out. I could just order one of these little gang rolls right here, cut them down, press them on the shirts, wear them to a concert, car show, wear them to Disneyland, wear them anywhere that there's a lot of foot traffic so people could see the design on a t-shirt, and then I could take that data back and see what people said, if people like the shirt. And if you know what I'm talking about, if you ever wore a t-shirt that grabbed attention from somebody, there's people that'll look, point, or come up to you and be like, where'd you get that shirt? Or that's a cool shirt. That's the kind of data I'm looking for. And that's what I'm actually going out into the public trying to do. I'm trying to do the research and finding out what's going to work, what's not going to work for me. So that way it takes the guesswork out. And when it comes to actually ordering transfers for retail, like meaning ordering bulk transfers so I could press them on shirts and sell them in my store, I know I'll have designs that people reacted to. I'll have designs that people actually liked out in the real world. So I know that there is a market for it. So outside of that, I'm still going to be using Supacolor Wearable transfers because I believe in it. I've been using it for so many years. My customers and clients like the feel of that print. I like the quality. I like the durability. And all around, I just like the convenience of being able to go and pick my transfers up. So when it comes to DTF, if I need to use DTF for anything, whether it's low quantity runs or if I'm gonna be testing out designs, I'm glad Supacolor now offers this stuff, because like I said, I could place my order and then I could just go over there and pick it up. I don't have to wait for shipping, I don't have to pay for shipping, and the turnaround time is crazy, man. There is nobody else out there that can turn around my transfers as fast as Supacolor, and that's why I use it. There's a lot of companies out there like, oh, we have a 1 day turnaround time. If the customer can't pick the transfers up from you, then that means that 1 day turnaround, they still have to wait 1 or 2 or 3 days for shipping to come. And that's if it comes through shipping. I don't like doing that. Personally speaking, I like to place my order, wait a day, pick the transfers up, have them in my hand, and start pressing right away. So that's why I choose to use Supacolor, because Supacolor is convenient for myself. The convenience of being able to place an order Sunday night and then have those transfers in hand Tuesday morning and I'm already pressing, easy call. And like I said, I order my transfers by the hundreds. So I'm doing 100 of this gang sheet, 100 of that gang sheet, 100 of a different gang sheet. So getting 300 transfers made within a day or two is an easy call for myself without having to pay for shipping. Once again, I live in Southern California. Supacolor is located in Hawthorne. They're a quick little 10-minute drive for myself to pick up. I'd be dumb not to use them. So if you wanted to check out any of this stuff, I'll leave links for it in the description box. If you wanted to pick up one of these t-shirts, they'll be back on my site. You can always come to my store and pick them up from me. If you were looking for a solid DTF transfer, Supacolor has a good one. Good hand feel, nice quality prints, and durable as hell. If you guys got any questions, make sure you leave it in the comments for me. Find me on Instagram and follow me if you wanted to. Big Brandoh TV. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.